Honestly, makes no sense. Someone I know used to wear this, which I know is not helpful to you at all. This to me smells nothing like Angel Share. I love this fragrance. This is honestly one of my favorite fragrances in this haul. It just smells like hair grease to me. Hey guys, it's Ifeyinwa and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if this is your first time here. As you can see from the title of today's video, I am talking all about viral TikTok fragrances. If you guys have spent any time on TikTok, you will know that there is a whole massive fragrance community on there where they are breaking down some crazy fragrances. A lot of them are Arab or Middle Eastern fragrances. The price points on these fragrances make absolutely no sense. And about a month ago, I started doing a deep dive. I bought 10 to try out for you guys for this season. I will have links to everything in my description box if you are interested in shopping. I'll have links for the US as well as the UK. So the first one I'm going to tell you guys about is this one right here. It is called Honor and Glory. First of all, the packaging on Lattafa fragrances, like, I still don't understand how they did this, okay? This bottle feels super heavy. Everything just feels so luxe. It was 100 ml for 25 pounds. The prices on these fragrances vary a lot, especially on TikTok. So you're looking at spending about 20 to 25 pounds. And I just don't understand it. I don't understand it. It's made in the UAE. It is an eau de parfum. Okay, I had some technical difficulties in case anything has changed. I hope the lighting is okay. So I watched someone's video on this and the way she described it made me want to try it. She said that this fragrance smelled like a pineapple creme brulee. It is worth mentioning, actually, if you guys have never watched any of my fragrance videos, that I tend to lean towards more rosy, oudi, musky, incensey, spicy fragrances. And I really wanted to try something different. So this was my something different. I'm not usually much of a gourmand girl, even though I have a lot of gourmands in this video, but I really wanted something that was like nothing else that I have in my collection. So I heard pineapple creme brulee and I thought, this sounds interesting. This honestly was the fragrance that I was the most excited to try because it is unlike anything that I have. And I'm so sorry to say, I was a little disappointed. Yeah, so the pineapple in this just smells very tart, but not tart in the way that the lychee in Delina smells. It smells tart in a way that's like very synthetic to me. I think this might be one of those fragrances that does well after a while. So a lot of these more affordable Middle Eastern fragrances, the TikTok girlies say that you need to let them macerate, which I've learned means just like sit basically, and they get better with time. And I am hoping that this is one of those fragrances that gets better with time. I've only had this for a couple weeks. I've worn it a few times. I don't really get the creme brulee, the sweet vanilla. Honestly, I just get a really sharp pineapple for me. And I honestly don't think that it really agrees with my skin chemistry because it almost smells sour. The top notes are pineapple and creme brulee. I can smell the sweetness, I'm not gonna lie. There is that like sweetness, that caramel to it, but when it dries down for me, I only smell the pineapple. The middle notes are cinnamon, turmeric, and benzoin. Yes, I do get the benzoin. I should have mentioned that. Benzoin is another one of my favorite notes. I love it so much. It is that like sunscreeny fragrance note that is also in Tom Ford's Soleil Blanc. Almost metallic like fragrance. I really like that note. And to be honest, you can smell it in here. The more I'm actually like reflecting on it, okay, I can smell the benzoin. The cinnamon I cannot smell. The turmeric, I don't really get that. The black pepper also, I don't really get that. And then the base notes are vanilla, sandalwood, cashmeran, and moss. It really has potential to be something amazing. The notes in here are so unique. They're unlike anything I've ever heard of, and that's really why I wanted to try it. But yeah, so far, if I had to rate this as it is right now, bearing in mind I've only had it for a few weeks and apparently you need to let these fragrances macerate for about a couple months, I would honestly say you don't have to get this one. This is actually one of my first Arabian Middle Eastern fragrances that I picked up from TikTok shop. This is Lattafa Khamrah Qahwa. This is a very, very popular fragrance. And if you watch my vlogs, you would have seen when I unboxed this particular one. This is honestly one of my favorite fragrances in this haul. So let me just start off by saying that. I understand why it's being compared to Angel Share. Let me start off by saying that. Angel Share is a very boozy apple cinnamon fragrance. I love it around this time of year. It is very strong. It is beast mode. This has an essence of all of those notes, but it is not a dupe. Okay, I feel like Angel Share is a lot boozier for me personally. So if you don't really like that strong cognac whiskey type smell, then this might be a more wearable version. This is definitely a more wearable version, or a more wearable fragrance, I should say, than Angel Share, but it is not a dupe, okay? I don't really know if I get apple. You know what? Let me look up the notes, because sometimes I feel like looking up the notes helps me to explain what I'm smelling. The top notes in this are cinnamon, cardamom, and ginger. So again, like, it doesn't have the same apple note that you get from Angel Share. And then it has middle notes of prelude, candied fruits, and white flowers, and the base notes are vanilla, coffee, tonka bean, benzoin, and musk. There's that benzoin again. So when I first smell this, what actually stands out to me is the coffee, the ginger, and the vanilla. This to me is fall/autumn in a bottle. It does smell very sweet, so maybe that's where the candied fruits come in, but to me, like, this smells like, think an Americano, a vanilla syrup with cinnamon sprinkled on top, and something like spicy, like a nutmeg. Like it almost has that essence. That's the best way I can describe it, but with loads of sugar, like really, really sweet. It just works. It is so smooth. It is so warming. This fragrance will last on your skin for a really long time. It's worth mentioning that the cap of the bottle is not glass. The bottle itself is glass, but the top is plastic. Honestly, even from looking at the bottle, you can tell that they were trying to, you know, replicate that Angel Share vibe. I definitely find this to be more wearable than Angel Share. Like, Angel Share, you have to be the kind of person that is confident to command the room, but this is a lot easier, I would say. So I love this. This is definitely in my top 3 from today's haul. If I had to rate this, I would give this a strong 8 out of 10. For the price, I would give it a 9, because this was literally 25 pounds. All of the fragrances in this haul are 25 pounds and under, except one. Okay, this is Barakkat Amber Eve. This fragrance is a dupe for MFK's Grand Soir. I had very high hopes for this and I was not disappointed, okay? This was about 20 pounds if I remember correctly. I think I got this on Amazon. The bottle, even just by looking at it, you can tell that these guys are trying to dupe MFK. This smells very, very, very similar to MFK's Grand Soir. Never owned it, but I did have a sample. This honestly has made me want to go out and get the real deal, because in as much as like people say it's a really accurate dupe, I just feel like with dupes you have to prepare yourself with the fact that it's never going to be an exact replica. It's a little bit off from what I remember Grand Soir to be, but it is so good. Like, even just it not being a dupe, just on its own, it is so good. This is one of those fragrances where you smell it, you spray it on yourself, you smell it all day, and it still lingers when you're back home. And that for me is what I like to see in my fragrances, and I still can't believe that this fragrance was 20 something pounds. This definitely has benzoin. I'm sensing a theme. I want to say it has vanilla as well. I want to say vanilla, amber, and benzoin if I had to guess. There's something fruity in here that I can't really pick up on. Ah, orange. So something called lamdanum, bitter orange, cyan benzoin, and then the base notes are amber, vanilla, tonka bean, and cedar. This is a stunning fragrance. It's definitely unisex. I think this is definitely in my top 3 fragrances in today's haul. I love this so much. This is Raghba. This is another very, very, very popular Middle Eastern fragrance. Similar to the last fragrance, glass bottle, plastic cap, way simpler packaging on this, but again, it was 10 pounds. When I tell you the way this fragrance lasts doesn't make any sense. Like, Raghba, am I saying it right? Raghba honestly makes no sense. How is this 10 pounds? And it came with a free deodorant that I've never even used. I'm not gonna lie, if I had to guess, because I haven't actually looked up the notes on any of these fragrances because I wanted to just speak off the dome. If I had to guess, I would say that this is an ambery one as well. Oh wow, there are no notes on Fragrantica. It just says it's an oriental vanilla. Smells sophisticated. So it says vanilla, sweet, Oud Amber. Yeah, I got that right. Powdery, balsamic, smoky, woody, warm, spicy, and musky. You know, I think I'm gonna spray this one. This is a fragrance that I've only worn a couple times. Someone I know used to wear this, which I know is not helpful to you at all. This honestly just smells like, I want to say an older woman. Yeah, I want to say an older woman, but not in a bad way. Like, it's not giving old lady. It's just giving sophistication. Like, sophistication. It's a very safe fragrance. I pick up on the amber personally. I also pick up on the vanilla. There's elements of this that is similar to Amber Eve, but this to me gives me more of a warm vibe, and you don't have that orange essence. I was gonna say it's not as complex, but that sounds bad. I just feel like Raghba to me is a very basic fragrance. Like, it doesn't really stand out in any particular sort of way. Do you have to get this? I would say no, but it's 10 pounds. So for that price point, I feel like just try it out and see if you like it. This is one of those fragrances though that, like, if someone came over and they were like, can I have a bottle of perfume, I would just say take this one, because I don't think that I would miss it if it wasn't in my collection, if that makes sense. This is not the same one. This is a different one. This is Lattafa Khamrah. So I have Lattafa Khamrah and I also have Lattafa Khamrah Qahwa. Now, as you can imagine, these are very similar, but they're also very different. So this is actually the fragrance that everyone says is a dupe for Angel Share, and I could not disagree more. This to me smells nothing like Angel Share. If you're looking for a dupe of Angel Share, the Khamrah Qahwa is more likened to Angel Share, and that's coming from someone who has Angel Share. But again, it's not a dupe. Like, I would just say that they're probably like cousins, okay? This one is a lot softer. It doesn't have that coffee note, so you're still getting the candy, the vanilla, the cinnamon, the spice, the fall in a cup, but not a cup with coffee in it, if that makes sense. I really like coffee, so that's probably why I lean more towards the Khamrah Qahwa, but this one is also very nice. I have to say, like, this fragrance, Raghba, the other Khamrah, they're all very similar. So similarly to what I said about the other one, if I had to let one go in my collection, I would let this go, because they're all very similar. And if I had to pick one of the three, I'm gonna pick Khamrah Qahwa. A lot of the Middle Eastern fragrances to me seem to have similar vibes, which is why I was really excited about Honor and Glory, and then we see how that one went. So here we have cinnamon, nutmeg, and bergamot as the top notes. So we're still having that cinnamon. Instead of ginger, we're seeing nutmeg here. The middle notes are dates, praline, tuberose, and mahonial. I don't know what mahonial is. Praline obviously is like a nut. Tuberose is a note that I usually really like because it's a white flower and it's usually really strong. I don't know if I pick up on tuberose here. You know what? Now that I think about it, I can. It does have that white floral note. The thing about these fragrances, I have to give it to the Middle Eastern fragrances, everything is blended so well. I feel like unless you have a really trained nose, it's quite difficult to like pick up on notes, which is not something that I typically have though, to be honest, I always have a hard time, but not as much of a hard time. The base notes, again, tonka bean, amberwood, myrrh, benzoin, and akigala wood. Now, I don't know what any of that is except benzoin. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, they're all beautiful. They are all beautiful. Khamrah Qahwa and Khamrah are both beautiful fragrances. This to me is a lighter version than Khamrah Qahwa. So if I had to pick, I would go for Khamrah Qahwa, but they're both beautiful. And I'm going to get my wear out of all of these fragrances, don't get me wrong. Even the ones I'm claiming I don't like. So here we have another very popular one. This is also by Lattafa. This is called Nebras by Lattafa. Get into that packaging, you guys. I unboxed this one on one of my vlogs, so definitely check that out if you want to see what the packaging looks like. This fragrance is so popular and I don't like it. So let me just put up that disclaimer now, okay? So this is described as an oriental vanilla fragrance, with top notes of red berries and mandarin orange. Middle notes are vanilla, cacao, and rose. And the base notes are sugar, tonka bean, amber, and musk. When I first opened this and I tried it out, I told you guys that it smelled like hair grease. And I stand by that. What I've discovered since then is that I don't like berries and fragrances. Like whenever there's a berry in a fragrance, for whatever reason, to me it registers as hair grease. If I had known that, I would not have bought this, okay? I've tried to wear this fragrance a few times, and every time I try to wear it, it's just like, no. I need to get rid of this bottle. Like, it just smells like hair grease to me. I don't smell anything but the hair grease. So I actually looked this up because I wanted to know what my nose was picking up on. And apparently there's some sort of mint in here that some people associate with hair grease. But it doesn't say that in the description. So a lot of you guys have said to let this macerate for a while. Again, if this ends up growing on me, I'll let you know. But I don't want to... I don't like this. Okay. This is Midnight Oud, you guys. This is by a fragrance house that does also not put their name on the bottle. Okay, so the name of the house that makes this is called Ard Al Zafaran. Apologies if my pronunciations are bad. But this is a oriental spicy fragrance. Again, all these fragrances are unisex. And the top notes are oregano, pimento, and bergamot. Middle notes are allibanum, opoponax, amber, and labdanum. Base notes are arga wood, which is oud, leather, sandalwood, and patchouli. Now, the first time I talked to you guys about this fragrance, I told you guys that it smelled fresh, but with oud. And I love this fragrance. This again is in my top 3 of today's fragrances. So top 3, now you know my top 3, okay? Freshness that I was picking up on is definitely that oregano and the bergamot. And of course it has the oud, it has some amber, some sandalwood, some patchouli. This is such a stunning fragrance, you guys. And when I tell you it lasts so long, oh my God, I love this fragrance so much. I love it. Like, I wear this all the time and I'm trying to slow down. Like, if you guys can probably see, I've already made a dent in this and I've only had this fragrance for a week. I love this so much. Like, it is one of those fragrances that I can just see turning heads. And the thing is, I smelled it on my cousin and I made a mental note to ask her what she was wearing. Like, that's how you know a fragrance is good. Like, you know what? This fragrance was like 20 pounds. Please go try it. If you want to know what I like, you can stop the video right now. Get Midnight Oud, get Amber Eve, and get Lattafa Khamrah Qahwa. Those are my top 3 TikTok, Middle Eastern, Arabian viral fragrances. Amazing. Like, I just cannot get over the price point on this. And also look at the packaging. It has this insane lace crown detail. Like, just go get this. Eclaire by Lattafa. This is another insanely popular Arabian, Middle Eastern TikTok fragrance. Everyone says, this smells like tonic. This smells like milky sugar. Top notes, milk, caramel, and sugar. Middle notes, honey and white flowers. Base notes are vanilla, praline, and musk. You know what this smells like? If you guys grew up in Nigeria or Africa or a country where there's just powdered milk and like powdered sugar, and you know how like you mix everything together and then you add your water and before you put in your cereal. If you grew up in Africa, you'll know what I'm saying. Actually, if you ever did that, let me know where you're watching my videos from or where you were in the world when you did that combination. This kind of reminds me of that. I think the big thing to note here is that I'm not the kind of person that usually likes very sweet, vanilla, caramelly, sugary fragrances. Like, that's not usually me, and that's why I wanted to try this, because I wanted to try something different. This was the most expensive fragrance in this haul. It was about 35 pounds because I got it on offer. I think normally it's about 40, and that's only because it's so popular. I've noticed that the prices of these fragrances vary with demand. This is just not me, but it is not a bad fragrance, and I think I can tell actually that Lattafa Eclaire is going to get better with time. I just know that like this fragrance, like this time next year, is going to be so much deeper, and I think I would like it more. But it just smells like powdered milk and granulated sugar to me, and I don't know if I want to smell like that. So I think that's what my issue is. For now, I don't find myself reaching for this, and that's how I know it's just not one of my favorites. And also, the lasting power on this is not super long for me. I feel like you spray it on yourself and you just can't really smell it. Like, if you guys have any of these fragrances, please feel free to let me know what your experience is like, because some of my takes are so different from what everyone else says that, like, at some point I was thinking maybe I got fake fragrances. Like, it's so strange. So this is one that I was probably the most disappointed in, because this again is a dupe for an MFK fragrance that I've tried before. It's a dupe for the Satin Oud by MFK, and Satin Oud is actually one of the fragrances that I for a really long time had on my to buy list, and then I just took it off because I realized that I didn't like it enough to spend the money on it. This to me just has a really sharp, artificial, powdery note that I just cannot get behind. That's so funny, like it's actually not on Fragnictica. Let's see if I can find it from the website, from Amazon. It says top notes are violet. Maybe that's what's throwing me off. Middle notes are Lotion Oud, Bulgarian rose, Turkish rose. Base notes are vanilla amber. It says it's a captivating, deep, warm oud fragrance. I don't get that. I don't get that. There's something about this to me that just throws me off. And now that I think about it, maybe it's the violet, because I was expecting it to just smell like rose and oud. I don't like the dry down as well. The dry down is so artificial smelling to me. It just smells like baby powder. That's honestly what I get. Baby powder and a little bit of rose, and the lasting power on this is so bad, you guys. Like, I feel like this is one of those fragrances that you have to keep on you. Like, it acts like a body spray as opposed to a perfume. Is this an EDP or an eau de toilette? Yeah, it's meant to be an EDP. I don't know about this one, guys. This one I feel like I'm gonna keep an eye on it because it has the making of things that I normally love. I'm such a big rose lover. Rose and oud is literally like my go-tos. And now we are on the final Bade Al Oud Lattafa Amethyst. I think that's how you say that word. This for me is something special. It is rose, it is oud, but it's like a sweet rose. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really have anything like this that is this sweet of a rose. And I don't know. I like what I like. There's not much I can say to it. It has a very, you know what? Let me look up the fragrances notes and tell you guys. This is an Oriental vanilla, according to Fragnictica. Top notes are pink pepper and bergamot. That's what I think I'm liking. I'm picking up on something sweet. What's the sweetness? Aha! Middle notes are Turkish rose, Bulgarian rose, and jasmine. That's what I was picking up on. This has jasmine. You know what? I think I'm going to wear this tonight, actually. This has jasmine, and it is so sweet. So for me, that's my idea of gourmand. Like, I don't want to smell like sugar. If I'm gonna smell sweet, I want to smell like jasmine. I want to smell like peony. And then the base notes are argowood, which again is oud, amber, and vanilla. So this has not one, two kinds of rose and jasmine. The middle notes are the notes that you usually, like, at least for me, come through the most, and that's what I get with this. I love this fragrance. Again, the bottle, insane. The cap on these are really good quality. I'm actually gonna wear this tonight, so why don't we just douse myself in this. This is definitely more of a feminine fragrance to me. But if you are buying a fragrance for a rose lover, this is the one you want. This is just a good fragrance, okay? It's very safe. It was nice out of the bottle, which I like. Like, the fragrances that you kind of have to wait to grow on you kind of annoy me, I'm not gonna lie. It is so long lasting. It's definitely giving beast mode. It's definitely worth the money. It's pleasant. It's not sharp. It doesn't smell overly synthetic or anything like that. Like, I just love this fragrance so much. So again, Lattafa, in my opinion, had some of the best fragrances out of all the ones I've tried. And yes, that is my review. I wanted to film this video for you guys for the longest time. I hope you guys found it useful. If you did, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Like I said, if you've tried any of the fragrances that I had to share with you guys in today's video, let me know what your impression of them has been so far. Let me know if there's anything I need to give a second chance. Let me know if there are any other fragrances, and by fragrances, I'm talking specifically about Middle Eastern, Arabian fragrances that you want me to try, because now that I've like explored this whole world, I think it's gonna be really, really hard for me to convince myself to spend 200, 300 pounds on a bottle of perfume anymore, because I'm like, I can get it for less. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will catch you guys in my next one. Thank you so much for watching. Stay blessed, stay safe, and take care. Bye. Why did I do that?